Everyone. Happy Thursday to everyone there. This is Marta from Spain. I'm a digital business owner, and I'm the face behind this page. And I am I'm enrolled this 90 Go Live Challenge. And today is my 42nd day, if I'm not wrong. So I'm going to introduce myself to the audience so then I can pass my guests from today. So as I said, it's Marta from Spain. I'm a digital business owner and a mentor, and I'm also a part-time teacher. And I am, working as a part-time teacher and building my digital business on the side while I'm teaching. I am also a mom of an 8-year-old boy, very active boy. So and today I have the pleasure to interview one of my digital business partner all the way from Canada. So without further ado, here it is, my lovely business partner Alice from Canada. Hello, Alice.
Hello,
Welcome.
Marta.
Welcome to the stage, and
Thank
I'm
you.
very, very thankful that you accept my invitation. It's a
My
pleasure to have
pleasure.
you here. So, to start with, can you just tell to the audience who is Alex? What can you tell us about yourself, and how does it look your life just right now?
Yes, thank you again very much for having me here and joining you today. I live in Manitoba, Canada, and we have snow as I'm looking out the window. It's a beautiful sunny day, but it's a
Yes,
bit
I was gonna say, how does it look like there? I heard it's a lot
well,
of snow.
yeah, a lot of snow. But I mean, I'm born and raised here in this province, so I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah,
I am a mom of two grown sons who are both married. And I have four grandchildren amongst them.
yeah.
And then my husband also has two grown daughters, and we have three grandchildren and two great grandchildren. So we have a lovely family. But his family is still in British Columbia. My family is here in Manitoba. I moved back to Manitoba, my home city, 3 years ago after leaving at the age of 40 to go and start a different chapter of my life. But
Yeah.
that's another story. But I'm happy to be back and have the time with my grandkids and family, and just reconnect with a lot of my old friends, which is wonderful.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice to do this. It's nice to connect with people from all around the globe. That's why I love this business. I always like to travel. I lived in different countries. I lived in Ireland, in Australia many years, and then 10 years in Sweden, and I just moved back to Spain about 2 years ago. And now I'm a mom and I cannot really travel much. So that's nice to actually meet people around the globe and, meet you and all this. And yeah, so it's nice to hear your story. And I wanted to ask you, what did it make you to jump on this business? And especially in your stage of life. I don't know, what do you think, it made you, to make that step?
Well, as I mentioned, I had moved away at the age of 40, or
Yes.
to another province, which halfway across our country, to start a new chapter in my life. And during that chapter of my life, because I was divorced, left my sons here, they stayed with their dad. They were 15 and 17 at the time. They were becoming young men, and they didn't really want to be with mom. They wanted to be with their dad. So that opened up a new door for me. I took on a really cool job out west, started a whole new life. And that's where I met my now husband.
Hmm.
And over time, I mean, I had a sales career there, and he was doing real estate in that. And then we both kind of changed direction, and we moved to another city, still in British Columbia. And
Hmm.
we were looking for a passive income thing. And one thing led to another, and we opened up a coffee shop. And so we owned that coffee shop for over 9 years. It was a family-run coffee shop. His daughter was involved. We were involved. We expanded, and over the 9 years, it took its toll on us, and both emotionally, physically, financially, and
Yeah,
we
it's a
made the
sacrificing. It's a sacrificing kind of business.
It is. Everyone thinks, oh, it's fun. We had so many people that wanted to work for us because they thought, oh, coffee shop business, it's great, it's fun. Well, it was fun. It looks great from the outside, but it's a lot of work. And there's really no downtime. In all the 9 years that we owned the business, I think we had 2 holidays, and those holidays were typically just weekends. So we didn't get to live life. And it took its toll on my husband. He got ill. And we made the decision to sell, which was a good decision. We just needed to, to de-stress. So that's what we did. And once the sale became final, we took a short trip to Mexico because, as I said, owning the business, we didn't get to go anywhere. And when we were in Mexico, we met up with some friends there, and we went out for dinner, and we started talking about, what retirement looks like, the big picture, all the questions that we all had. And they were actually in this business. And so that's how I got introduced to the business.
Okay.
So
I just, you retired when you got into did you got retired?
Yes, I was 65. I was 65 at the time. So I was retired. My husband's a few years older than I, so he wasn't going back to work. And when I looked at our financial situation after after selling the business, paying off all the debts, so to speak, there wasn't much left for us. And I knew that we still we had lots of travel plans, we still had our health, and we still had a lot of life to live. And so I figured, well, what am I going to do at 65? No one's going to hire me. They're not going to invest in me at 65.
Yes.
So I had to invest in myself. And that's what I did. I, started this online business at 65, and been loving it ever since. I've met lots of great people like yourself, lots of other women like myself who were in the same situation, wanting to do something that was going to supplement their retirement or take the place of their job and do this full time. I'm fortunate that I was able to do this for full time because I was retired. But, there's lots of women that are in their 50s and 60s that are looking forward to what does retirement look like?
Yes.
And we're not prepared. There's a lot of people that aren't prepared. Not.
Yes, it's tough because, I can only imagine because, I went through a few times in my life where I lost my job without totally unexpected, and so you never really predict what is going to happen, right? You think that you're secure with whatever you are, but you're not, because, life can take a turn, and many people can find themselves, at the age of 65 when you're going to get retired, that you haven't really achieved the goals and the dreams that you always had for you when you get retired. So,
absolutely.
And I see it so many times now that, I see, especially in this business, I see so many people like you that they had to, to take another plan just because they didn't get what they they work so hard for it, And at the end, just life comes on the way, and you end up, that what do you do? So it's tough, I can only imagine this. So yeah. So thanks for sharing that, Alice. And
of course.
So when you started this business, what do you think? What was the difficulties in the way when you started, and what did you discover about yourself about these challenges?
Well, I think the difficulties at the beginning were just learning something completely new. My background was sales, so that helped. and I did use a computer, so that helped as well. And I was a people person, still am. So that was, definitely a benefit. But in terms of the difficulties, maybe just navigating things, there's a whole new
Mhm.
world out there. I mean, I had a Facebook page, but I really only had it to
Yeah.
follow my kids to see what they were up to, because when we lived in different provinces, phone calls aren't always happening.
Yeah.
So, and just to navigate that. But my situation was such that I didn't have good mentors at the beginning, and a good coach, or a real group of women that I could connect with. And for many years, I was kind of just like doing things on my own. Finally, I found, some people that I connected with.
Yeah.
We are still connected. We help each other. And I truly believe that that is the basis of so many people's success in this business, is just the
Oh,
fact that we have
absolutely.
each other.
Absolutely. Because the one of the, the greatest thing in this business is the great community. And even as you
Mhm.
said, even if you start with the wrong mentor or the wrong coach, it's such a great big community that you can search, and you got the tools, we got the platforms to find each other. So you can just like really, you can find your match, if you search for
Mhm.
it. And we've seen this, especially in this group that we are in, the Trailblazers, which is a blessing for me. Especially we're having the best coach that there is in our community. And so if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to success in this business, you get all these tools available in front of you. And it's great. And for me, I'm not from the digital era either. I had to also learn so much. And for me, it was also like a little bit of a challenge, even though that I had a little bit you know you know digital uh, skills, even though I'm not from the digital era. And for me, it was also like a little bit of a challenge. But we have such a great training. Don't you agree? It's just got
Mhm.
such a video base, and it's so well set up for you to follow up. You just have to plug in, follow all the steps, learn everything that you got in front of you, and put all your energy and your willingness to learn. Because at the end of the day, it's all about this business. If you're willing to learn, it's just about a matter of time.
Mhm.
And time and consistency, and just be patient, like anything in life, right?
Absolutely.
If you want something in life, you just have to put the effort and the time and the consistency, and don't pretend that things just happen overnight.
Very true.
So yeah, so if someone that is watching us in the audience, and think that maybe it's a little bit too late for me to start something like that, what would you tell them from your experience?
That it's not too late. I mean, there are so many people in this world that start businesses at the age of 60, 70. We're always learning, we're always growing, and that's just what this is. It's just another way of doing it. Being online is an amazing way to connect with people, and the things that this community brings to us, the teachings that we get on
Mm.
positive mindset, on personal development, those are things that I certainly didn't expect with this business. I was, I'm business minded. I had a coffee shop, I had sales, and it was always about numbers and things like that. This business isn't about that.
Yeah.
It's about helping people and connecting
Yeah.
with people, and just showing them that, you just share your story, and other people are going to resonate with that story,
It's a
and they're
people's
going to want
business.
to know more. And that's just essentially what this business is. This business is amazing, and
Yeah.
I don't understand why everybody isn't doing it. And that's why we're here sharing our stories and getting that message across, because it's a wonderful business. Yeah, there are going to be ups and downs. There's going to be days where you're going to say, oh, I'm just going to throw in the towel. But life is like that, right? I mean,
Exactly.
we have a new puppy, and my goodness, it's been 16 years since I've had a puppy, and there are days where I'm just like overwhelmed, right? But
Yeah.
it's teaching me that, okay, take a step back. We're learning. We've got this, and that's not unlike this business, day
Yeah.
by day. And then celebrate the times that you do have success with something. My ad's working, yay. My Facebook page is working, yay. Or I made a connection with someone. I changed someone's life. You know, that's what this business is about. And so age
It's
is
just,
not a factor. It's just not.
well, the
The
thing
way
is
I look
like,
at it, I've got another 20 years. So, before I can maybe hang up my shingle or whatever it is, but I'm going for it. I'm 71 and there's no stopping me.
of course. And the thing is like, life is about learning, because life doesn't stop teaching you. So it's all about learning and investing in yourself. And right now, honestly, when I was going to school, we lived into this industrial era, where everything was focused in industrial. But now, actually, we're not living in an industrial area. We're living in a digital area, and it's not the
Mhm.
future anymore. It's the present. We do
Yeah.
everything online. We shop online. We bank online. Everything is online. So, but people are still resisting to the old ways, right? And they still need to flip the switch, and they still resistant. And the best thing is just move with the times, because this is it's just, and especially since COVID, everybody said, COVID is going to change, and it did change. It actually
Mhm.
accelerated a little bit, I think. It
True.
was already starting, the digital working from home and all this. And then with, I think that COVID, what made us is to see that we were replaceable. You know, eh, you could just like do things differently. And
Mhm.
and so now is the time when you say, okay, now is a reality. You know, and now it's the
Yes.
time. If you don't really sort of accept that and jump in it, you're gonna get behind. So yeah, I think it's something to reflect on. I think for those that are watching, this is a learning process, and it's just like out there, and it's on your hands, and especially just to let people know that there is options, that
Mhm.
that is okay, to accept that you know always maybe are not working, they don't work any longer, and there is new ways that you can explore, you know and I think
And find a purpose.
yeah,
We
exactly.
all need a purpose, right?
Yes,
And helping people. I mean, what greater purpose is there? There's so many different ways of being able to help people.
mm,
And when they learn to help themselves, then they start helping others, and it just keeps going.
exactly.
So
And
that's real. That's really
that's
the
the good thing
basis of
about
this
this
business,
business.
right? Hmm.
Yes, it's about helping each other. I love this is one of the things that most blow me away, um that this community doesn't compete with each other. I was
Hmm.
talking about this in one of my go lives, and that in the traditional jobs they teach you to do things on your own and compete, and it's about who does better, and who earns more, and who all these kind of things. But in this kind of in our business, it's about helping each other, it's about growing together, it's about sharing things, and not keeping it for yourself, and that's nice, that's nice, and it makes you feel
Absolutely.
good, don't you think?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I love this about this business, to grow together and help each other and all this. And we are grown so much, from these people who started. Maybe maybe you can say that, because now we are 207, almost 270,000. But do you remember when like how many people was
When I
when you
started, there
started?
was probably about, well, I'm going to say maybe 40 or 50,000 people in the business.
Yeah,
And I thought that was a lot. But when you look
yeah.
at the longevity of this online business community, I mean, we're going to be celebrating our 10th year, the founders of our business
Oh,
community. And that's unheard of in the online space.
yes,
So, that just speaks to the ethical business that this is, and the integrity that we have, and the integrity of the owners of the business. And they keep
absolutely.
showing up and keep helping us and keep making us better. And I mean, everything is there for us. Everything that you need to set up a successful online business is given to you. You just need to do the work yourself. You have to be
Absolutely.
there. That's
Yes.
that's the only variable. If you are willing to work at it, as you said earlier, and be coachable and want to learn, and it's not just learning about business. Yeah, there's a lot of that, but our training definitely teaches us that. And
Yeah.
as you mentioned, it's all video based, which I love, because I can work on my computer and watch on my laptop and do step by step, and it all comes together, and it's wonderful. It's not like you are left to your own devices. Like, there's so many courses out there that people pay for and think, oh, I'm going to be the next whatever, and you pay all this money, and then you're going, well, now what? Who's going
Yeah.
to be there to help me? Well, there isn't anyone there. And that's not what our business is. We're,
Yeah.
as you said, we're there to help each other, and there's always someone there that will reach
Yeah.
out to you.
And it's also flexible, you can do it in your own time. You can, adjust it to your flexibility, as for myself, for example, I'm doing it beside my job, so you don't have to do a huge risk. You don't have to really, go a while and quit your job and start this business. You can start it while you are working, also like I did, and eventually you can just cut up your hours, or you can just turn it into your plan A if you want to. It's up to you, in whatever you feel comfortable with. But it's good to know, and tell to the audience that you can still is still doable if you are just doing, or you're working in a regular job. So yeah, it adapts to your life, instead of the other way around, right?
Yeah. Well, I just took
Well,
my computer with me to Mexico when we used to go to Mexico in the winters,
how
and
good
did
is
it from the
that?
beach and did it from
Gosh.
the pool, and it's amazing.
That is amazing. That's what I do. If if I'm at work, or if I'm doing whatever I do, I just check things from my phone. That's the beauty of this business. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of the online space. And for those who are resisting, you should think it twice, because it's amazing. Okay, well, that was great talking to you, Alice. Thank you for
My
coming
pleasure.
in.
Thank you.
And it was a nice chat. And well, thank you, to the audience that has been watching us. And if you are interested or curious about this business, you can contact any of us, Alice, of myself, and we will be happy to inform you, or to answer any questions that you can have. Okay, guys, and Alice, thank you again for being here,
Bye
and
bye. Bye
we'll
bye.
see you soon. Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you.